Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'd like to talk about flashlights. It's widely accepted that it's probably one of the most important pieces that you can have on a self-defense firearm. And what I propose we do is look at 3 different flashlights that I've used over the years on my firearms, kind of talk about the pros and cons, maybe some of my experiences, then after that take them out at night, shine them so you can see what they'd look like and see if they would work for you. Just start. We'll finish. Quick finishing pass, not too bad, and I'll probably do that. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. He's safe and have fun on the range. Alright everyone, we're going to primarily stick to rifle flashlights. The first one up here is the original Surefire M951. You can see this is a really low serial number. This flashlight has a full aluminum body and has been to hell and back. They do come with a mount. Generally you can find them with a extra pressure pad and a tail cap button as well. These flashlights take 2 CR123 batteries as a power source, and generally they're pretty low on the lumen scale. They're around 65 to 70 lumens. That can be helpful or hurtful, it kind of depends. If you're inside houses with white walls and your eyes have already adjusted to the darkness and you have to hit the light to get a better look at something, you're not going to blind yourself having only 70 lumens hit a white wall, and you're not going to have as much splash back to blind you. These are incandescent bulbs, that's why they don't have such a high rating, and they really are great flashlights. I've had this one for about 10 years and I've put it through its paces. It is a really great flashlight. You can find them on the used market for about 125 to 150 bucks because Surefire doesn't even make these anymore, but they're still a really great flashlight, and I'd like to say they're pretty good value at that price. They are made in America. Unfortunately, some of the components that they have in these flashlights are made in China, so I totally understand how some people will feel about that and how some people won't feel about it. But anyhow, moving on to our next flashlight. This is a Nitecore. I've used Nitecores for about 5, maybe 6 or maybe 6.5 years now. This is a P10 GT flashlight. This can take 2 CR123 batteries, or it can take the 18650 rechargeables, so you can, play with your milliamp hours, going from, let's say, 2600 to 3800 and anywhere in between, all depending on what kind of batteries you want to run. The interesting part about these is they're about $60 to $70. They do not come with a mount, but they have a really interesting tail cap mount here. The brightness settings on these are about 900 lumens. The tail cap, as you can see, you have a few options here. You have just the normal button. You can push it on off, or you can click it to constant on. And then they have this interesting lever system right here where if you push this, you get the strobe. So you have kind of an interesting option right here. One note of caution, I have been training with these flashlights before, and I have had a piece of gear hit this lever right here and have it go off and strobe. So having these turned into the rail side might be helpful. You'll just notice on the back of the tail cap there just isn't really a lot of area to keep it from anything from hitting that one levered button for the strobe option. Anyhow, really cheap option for a flashlight, really sleek design. I like it a lot. Generally speaking, on high, depending on what kind of batteries you're using, you're either getting 45 minutes or an hour and a half out of this flashlight on high. Moving up to the next flashlight is a newer Surefire, but still a model M951. The difference here is this one does have an extra pressure pad, and I did upgrade it to the LED bulb. So this LED bulb is around $10 for the aluminum body. It's around $30 for the old brass body, and they're advertised to increase these flashlights up to around 1,000 lumens, or at least that's what I've seen them advertised for. So it'll be really interesting to see what this Surefire looks like versus its older incandescent brother over here. And like I said, I've used these for around 10 years. Great flashlights. I absolutely love them. You can find them on the used market. The next flashlight is a Streamlight. Now I've got about 21 years worth of experience with Streamlight flashlights. I think they're great flashlights. This is the first Streamlight ProTac Rail Mount 2 that I've used, and this is on that SIG build that we did. And this was really kind of interesting. About $110, you get a mount, you get an extra pressure pad that you can mount to a 1913 rail. You have a nice button here. You can see that the tail cap here is actually kind of shrouded, so you're not going to accidentally set it off. 625 lumens on this particular flashlight. Like I said, $110. The bezel is a little large here, but it's not any bigger than one of the Surefires. And yeah, it's kind of a really great value for 110 bucks. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I don't have a lot of experience with this one since I just kind of threw it on here tonight. And we're gonna go take these flashlights out into the backyard and see what they look like to give you guys a better idea of what they might look like and what options you might consider when selecting a weapon-mounted flashlight. Well, we might as well get into a little pistol light action here. I don't have a wide selection of pistol lights, unfortunately. Streamlight TLR1. This is 300 lumens. It does take two CR123A batteries. The runtime is about 2.5 hours on this. You can find them for about 130 bucks. Really interesting. They come with a bunch of different adapters so they can fit all the different pistols that are out there. And this is a aluminum body. The switch is up for constant on and down for momentary on. And that's about it for that one. The other one here, this is another Streamlight. I do have a little bit of a bias with Streamlight. I've been using them for over 2 decades now. This one is an M6. They're not even made anymore. You can find them on the used market for about 100 to 150, kind of depending. This one does have the integrated laser on the bottom of it. This one, super light. This is a glass fiber reinforced polymer. It weighs in at 3.7 ounces with the batteries. There's 2 batteries, CR123As. Only 90 lumens on this light. Runtime is about 1.5 hours, and runtime on the laser is about 25 hours, I want to say. There is a switch down here so you can do just light, just laser, light and laser, or off if it's in the range bag. The function is the same as the TLR1, up for on and down for intermittent. Anyhow, let's get these to the backyard and see what they look like at night.
Alright, so here's the setup, and I'm pretty sure it's dark enough to the point where you can't even see me, but the target to your right is exactly 9 yards away from the camera, and the target to your left is exactly 14 yards away from the camera. The camera is on 1x right now, and let's get this started.
Streamlight M6. Streamlight TRL1. Surefire with the original incandescent bulb. This is around 65-70 lumens. Definitely not bright enough to blind you. Streamlight with the updated LED bulb. They advertise this as 1,000 lumens. And this one is the Nitecore, the P10 GT. Strobe. And here's the Streamlight Pro Tac. And strobe.
All right, so we just got back inside, and I hope that comparison actually helps someone out there. I know a lot of flashlight reviews, they're either doing it in the garage or their hallway. I just really wanted to bring it outside, give you 2 different distances on those targets. I know that the fence background was brown and there was some leaves in there around the outer edges. So just to try to give you some more depth perception on the different lumen ratings on some of these flashlights. And hopefully that really kind of helps someone, you know, only buy once instead of buying a few times and figuring out what you really want. Anyhow, remember that loose is fast, brakes only slow you down, and if we live half of our lives with the sun down, it's probably a good idea to have a flashlight on that firearm you own. Anyhow, remember to be safe, have fun on the range, and we'll see you next time.